Good afternoon and welcome to the latest issue of Print21, the weekly video news bulletin for the Australia and New Zealand print industries. This issue is sponsored by Ball & Doggett, Australia's largest supplier of printable materials and of press room consumables. The proposed deal between IVE and Ovato is proceeding apace, with Competition and Consumer Commission, the ACCC, seeking to come to a decision on the proposed deal in double quick time. Any submissions on the proposed takeover by IVE of Ovato have to be in by today, Thursday. The ACCC says industry participants should expect the timeline for its provisional decision, the date that is, to be significantly shorter than its typical ACCC informal merger reviews. It says it's undertaking its investigation on a truncated basis, aware no doubt of Ovato's perilous finances. Simpress, owner of online print giant Vista, has recorded record sales and profits for the year, but Vista itself failed to shine compared with the group's other operations. Vista, which has a plant in Deer Park in Melbourne, achieved sales of $1.5 billion in revenue for the year ending 30th of June. It's the biggest part of Simpress, where sales at the mass customization and web-to-print giant increased overall to $2.9 billion from $2.6 billion in the financial year. Simpress chairman and CEO Robert Keane said, "The Vista segment generates our highest profits, but those profits and cash flow are currently depressed relative to past and potential levels." Keane signalled that the group was investing strongly in Vista. The world's biggest offset press manufacturer, Heidelberg, Heidelberg saw a significant improvement in both sales and operating profitability in the first quarter, thanks mainly to what it says is the continued recovery of the markets in almost all regions. The group's sales figures between April and June grew by 20% year on year to €530 million, with the growth largely attributed to the rise in the number of new machines that it was delivered. All segments increased their sales during the first quarter. Growth in packaging solutions at around 28% was particularly strong. Meanwhile, Sydney print operation Allcraft is in voluntary liquidation, the first printer apart from Ovato that's hit the skids since the end of the lockdowns. Allcraft was based in Lakemba. Prior to that, it was actually located on Canterbury Road for many years in Canterbury. At one stage, it ran a B2 multi-unit press and had digital kit. The number of print businesses seeking administration or liquidation during this COVID period has been remarkably few, far less in fact than in COVID years. Controversial owners of Sunshine Coast-based operation Express Printer Mail, Wendy and Matt Chadwicks, have sold the business. They're bowing out after 2 years after the move to new premises. The new owners of the business are current sales manager Scott Lanehoff and account manager Glenn Weldon. Express Printer Mail has 55 staff and claims to be the biggest print business in the region. Lanehoff and Weldon now own both the Sunshine Coast operation and Wide Bay, the operation there at Wide Bay. The sale closes the chapter on a story which saw mother and son Wendy and Matt Chadwicks both own the business separately at different times under different companies. As mail monopoly, Australia Post continues to pivot to parcels. Printers and mailing houses are dealing with the reality that neither of its board of executive, non-executive directors nor its stakeholder council contain anyone with any commercial mail or print background. Apart from CEO Paul Graham, the AusPost board is completely non-exec and none have any mail or print experience. Its chair, Lucio de Bartolomeo, comes from logistics world, as does deputy chair Andrea Staines. The rest of the board are mainly professional non-execs and also academics. They have a bit of retail and government background. The Australia Post Stakeholder Council only has one person in it who has anything to do with post or mail. She runs a small post shop in Middlemount, population 1,800, located in a remote area inland halfway between Mackay and Rockhampton. But apart from her, none of the 9-member council has any print or mail experience, and most have no business experience either. That's it for this week's Print21 news. We'll leave it on that note. For all these stories in full and more, go to print21.com.au. Thanks to our sponsor Ball & Doggett, Australia's largest supplier of printable materials and press room consumables. This is Wayne Robinson signing off, editor of Print21, signing off for another week.